I'm going to make this extremely tactical for you. This is not going to be death by PowerPoint. This is going to be actions and activities that you could take right now and do this yourself. You see, I helped pioneer signals. In fact, I invented social selling. I wrote the book, Social Selling Mastery and Spear Selling, and scaled to 600 global customers, Social Selling Mastery. And along that journey, I learned about very specific sales plays, signals that open doors, they create opportunities. I'm going to teach you about something called the sphere of influence and as well job change alerts, specifically customers on the move. So let's dive in together, and I'm going to show you how you could do this right now using LinkedIn Sales Navigator and using prospecting on LinkedIn. So let's start. The first thing that I want to show you is the sales plays themselves. So I'm going to drop into, and I'm going to actually minimize my screen here. I'm going to drop into LinkedIn plays. So if you think about prospecting, the left side of our brain is going to collect the data and intelligence we need to make informed decisions. That's where we're going to get our signals. On the right side of our brain, we're going to ask ourselves, what should we say and how do we tell a colorful story? There are two sales plays that I want you to focus in on. Play number one, and we'll use LinkedIn as the medium of communication to engage our prospects. Number one is called the sphere of influence. I used this to help build my first, second, and third agencies. Scaled this to 600 global customers around the world. And now we actually do this for customers and prospect on their behalf. And here's how you do it. I want you to take a sheet of paper right in front of you. I want you to write down a very happy, successful customer. Write down their name, circle it, then look at it and ask yourself a fundamental question. Who actually cares about this story? And what you'll find is that the people that care about it are within 1 degree of separation. There are those that leave that customer and go on to another business that meet your ideal customer profile. There are those that are vendors and suppliers to that company. There are direct competitors. And as well, you can tap into the social network of people's LinkedIn profiles to see what's called high social proximity, the people that they are best connected to, the companies that are best connected to. So that's going to be play number one. That's a signal. You're going to heat map every successful customer. So I have a Mont Blanc pen in front of me, and I heat map, well, who are the heads of marketing, the heads of sales, or heads of operation, whoever you sell to, who has left that organization and gone on somewhere else over a time frame that is within the time you worked with that customer. Who are their vendors and partners? Who are their competitors? And of course, the people that work there today at Mont Blanc, who do they know? The second play is a derivative within inside that play, which is customers on the move and the job change alert. The way to think logically about a new executive taking a new job. They get hired into a business. And when they get hired into the business, in that first 100 days, they are pontificating the people, process, and technology that they need to be able to scale and grow and improve the business. Usually in days 0 through 30, they're still trying to figure out where the washroom is in the office. But then you have this magical moment where they realize by day 100, they have to show up to a board meeting. They have to present a business plan. That business plan has 3 to 5 initiatives that they want to run for the next year. They need to acquire capital, and then they need to run with those initiatives. That window of time, that first 100 days, is when they're most pliable to change. This is where you can engage them, help shape the narrative of the things that they might want to do, and this gives you that opportunity to plant the seeds of inception so that they can put you on the business plan. Because once they've raised the capital for their plan and they're running the initiatives, month 6, month 8, it's very hard to derail from that existing plan because they've committed to that plan. So we want to get there early. So these are the mindset that I want you to have. Sphere of influence, customers on the move. So how we're going to do this. What I'm actually going to show you now is we're actually going to identify using LinkedIn some of these signals. As an example, what if I was looking for revenue operations leaders that are brand new to their job and are directors, CXOs, and VPs in North America. I just built myself a list of 290 prospects, and I could filter it down to a greater geographic region, verticals or industries, other market dynamics such as number of employees. Maybe you serve the global enterprise, the global mid-market. You can isolate that down. But let's say you serve a much larger audience, 290 revenue operations leaders that are brand new to their job and that you can engage. And all of a sudden, you have this opportunity to engage Hayden. And this is a perfect opportunity to be able to plant the seeds of inception and begin. And I'll just show you another way to think about this. So that's if you're looking for a pure opportunity to look within job changes in a market. Another way to do this, I'll actually take off revenue operations. And what we'll do are look at past company. So this is when you do the sphere of influence, you're actually reverse engineering who no longer works at, and I'm drinking a Yeti right now, who no longer works at Yeti. So let's actually put that in. Yeti. Okay, so in revenue operations, there are 31 people that no longer work at Yeti. They are a director, CXO, and VP of revenue not of revenue operations, but just of a job change. And so we can isolate. You got chief operating officer, founder of a company, procurement, and so forth. So let's actually just take this as we go into function. Let's go into operations, and you have your people, your 4 people. Up and left Yeti, now in operational roles in new businesses. So I'm actually going to go back to our original list. Let's actually go back to our role here where I created a list of, okay, well, let's just take our Yeti list here. Now we're going to go to step number 2. Step number 2, what we're going to do is move from the left side of our brain. First, we built a revenue operations list. Second, we built everyone that's left Yeti and has became an operator at another business. Now we need to prospect. Here's what we do. Now, my company, Get Leverage, what we do is we buy out all the $5 an hour tasks that sales and marketers are doing. So think of everything that a seller needs to do, including building lists, updating HubSpot and Salesforce. And what about prospecting on LinkedIn? Well, the prospect on LinkedIn, we prospect on behalf of 50 to 100 founders, chief revenue officers, sellers. We are them on LinkedIn. This is the tool I recommend. Now we're getting into orchestration. We are going to build a campaign in which you're going to take those people from Yeti. You're going to put them into a campaign in LinkedIn. And now you can engage those people on LinkedIn, telling the story of working to Yeti. So we're going to go add new campaign. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my own campaign, and it's going to be called a connector campaign. I'm going to build a campaign, create blank campaign. These people that I'm going to take, let's actually go into people. And what I'm going to do is take the very navigator list of everyone that used to work at Yeti, now in operations. Oh, I actually did a bigger list. Let's just do that for fun. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to bring that into my tool Expandy, and I am going to add them to a campaign. Press paste. And I'm going to enter this. This is going to be my Yeti sphere of influence. Okay. And I'm going to just move over my screen here and press save. And what I'm doing is I am building a database of those that have left Yeti, and I tell that story. Now I'm going to go into steps. And now this is where I add my copy. And this is where I can take from existing plays on what am I going to say to my LinkedIn connection requests. Then I'm going to add perhaps minutes, hours, days later, where it deploys another story. I'm telling the story of working with Yeti, and here are the case studies. And then I'm orchestrating, add a follow-up. A couple days later, I might have a case study again, or a benchmarking survey, or I might be inviting them to a podcast talking about the Yeti story. I am using LinkedIn exactly like you're orchestrating with email. except I am having one-to-one conversations on LinkedIn with the executives that used to work at Yeti. I have a much more humanistic story because there's a LinkedIn profile. There's a no gatekeeper. I call it double potency, because what this means is I'm going to message them on LinkedIn. It's going to go into the inbox that is tied to their LinkedIn profile, which for 70% of people is their Gmail account tied to their mobile phone. And it's going to go into the inbox on LinkedIn. And so twice that prospect is seeing that message. And so this is a fantastic opportunity. And I'll kind of stop sharing here in a second. I wanted to be able to give you something very tactical. 2 different sales plays. Let's recap those 2 different sales plays that I'm using. Number 1, I'm taking the sphere of influence. People leaving your happy customers, pouring out to other places. Play number 2, I could take all the heads of revenue operations, all the heads of finance, every new lawyer, whatever your buyer persona is, anyone that takes a new job in that market, pull them in, put them into a campaign. I'm then going to build my social network around those people, connecting with them on LinkedIn. I'm going to share insights and best practices with them. And I'm going to book meetings because I have a compelling event. That compelling event is you used to work at my happy customer, and or you are brand new to your job and you need to reshape the people, process, and technology that you need for your business. So what I'm hoping you got out of that is that you found this really valuable in thinking through that there are all these $5 an hour tasks that you could be pulling the databases. You could be orchestrating them into prospecting tools and then prospecting. And then this ultimately is what we do. We take those $5 an hour tasks, take them from you, we do them for you so that you can focus on $500 an hour value creation. And this is an example of making signals come to life. They come to life by actually building that list, tracking the job changes, reverse engineering a market, and then doing that for a customer, for you, as you on LinkedIn. So I hope you found this valuable and excited for next steps. You take care. Oh, and I should call to action. Go to getleverage.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is Jamie Shanks, CEO of Get Leverage. Excited to talk further. Thanks a lot.